Mhm.
and so I just like would beat myself up on it. But
Mhm.
like just one time, I just went to talk to someone for like an hour, and it felt totally amazing just to like have someone to talk to that you they're just there to listen. You can just rant to them. So honestly, with mental health, the best thing is just to just talk and talk.
Yeah, I agree. And like, I used to be one of those people that I used to go, like, I used to see a psychologist and talk to them, and I wouldn't tell people I was seeing them because I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know, I was afraid of judgment. And then you realize that, like, this is the problem, is that because we're afraid to share these kind of things, it kind of makes us like, it makes it more stigmatized. But I think
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with like talking to someone. In fact, like you mentioned, it's so much better than holding in your feelings, right?
Oh yeah.
Like,
Because like when you're holding in, you're just honestly like just beating yourself up. And like when I started holding it in, I was like, I just had so many negative thoughts, and I was like, crap. I hated it. And then just one day, this was actually not too long ago. It was like probably 2 weeks ago. I went and talked to someone with my dad. He
mhm,
left the room, and I came out of there feeling so much better.
it's amazing. Yeah, like just to be heard, like just to be able
I
to
know.
say something and know that someone's listening to you.
And like just like the way like the like profession like it's different when you're talking to like a friend or something, but like when you're talking to a professional and like the way they talk to you because they know what's up and like what's going on in your head and stuff, that's what I find helps a lot too. Like you actually found someone that you talk to that like understands a lot.
For sure. And it's not always easy finding someone that you can really vibe with, that you can fully trust and know that like they're really listening.
Yeah.
But when you find someone that you can talk to, whether it's a friend, a family member, or a psychologist, when you find that person and you're able to express yourself and not hold things back, it's like a
Yeah.
weight off your shoulders, right?
No, exactly. Like I was like 3 weeks ago, I was just kind of going through like this phase where I was like just bumming out. Kept on. I just felt like I was getting bad and bad news after every single day. So I was like, just not having it. Getting mad at people, the people I loved, like constantly, but it wasn't. They weren't doing anything. It was just me, and that's why as soon as I had that talk with that person, all the voice is going crazy.
Hmm.
It, it. You're right. Just lifts so much weight off your shoulders, just because you it's different. Like when was talking to him, I actually felt like I wasn't just talking to a wall. Like I was actually like I had a good feeling with the guy, and I was like having fun too.
Yeah, I think when you know that someone's really listening to you and someone's really hearing you out, sometimes like inner thoughts come out that you would have never like actually expressed. There are things
Exactly.
that just like you just want to discuss now because you know that person's like actually listening to you.
Yeah.
But I think all of us, every one of the people in this chat right now would be able to benefit by talking to someone about what's going on in their life, regardless of if it's negative or positive. Like sometimes as human beings, just to be able to talk about life,
Yeah.
because we live life and we go through the motions of waking up and going to work and whatever it is, or going to school. But do we really talk about our life enough? I don't know.
No,
I don't
I
know
know.
if
I
we
know what
do.
you mean. And like, um, sorry, my voice. But like in when you actually like find someone you actually like trust and like you feel comfortable talking with them, that's when you're honestly just set. Just because like you realize that when you're talking with that
Hmm.
person, you realize you wouldn't even say that to anyone in your family, anyone else, and it just came out of your mouth like nothing, like nothing happened. Like, and you're like, oh my god, I really just said that to someone, and then
Yeah, it's so important to express our emotions. And yes, we're able to talk to our family members and our friends, but they're different types of conversations, right? So
yeah,
something that you might talk to one of your boys about, or your brother about, or your dad about, or your cousin about, or whatever, it might be different than like, because there's that whole conflict of interest. So it's nice being able to sit down with someone and know that they are just listening to you. But yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's important, man. But listen, like I dealt with a lot of mental health stuff actually like around like 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And I would say like the biggest piece of advice is just keep opening up like you're doing. Like keep talking to people, keep talking to whatever, whether it's a psychologist or psychiatrist, because the more you talk about your life and the more that you're heard and the more that you're aware of your emotions, the more like the easier it is to deal with and cope with things that come your way.
Yeah.
So I think even this conversation right now is it benefits me at least because I think it's important to
No,
be
I
able
know.
to
No,
talk about it.
no, me too. I swear, like a
Yeah.
lot.
And dude, like you're young, you know, you got so much ahead of you as well. So it's like as you're going through this process of growing up and learning about yourself, it's going to be interesting because you're learning about yourself while also like going through ups and downs. And I think that's the beauty of it all. But you got a lot of people that are supportive of you, loving, and you know, I think it's okay. And I love that you start off by saying like I asked you how you were, and you're like, like I've been better. Like, I think
Yeah.
that's important. I think we need to be able to say that when we are not feeling 100%, you know, and that's okay to be
Yeah.
like, today was not a great day.
Yeah. Cause like with like me, my dad, and my brother mostly like we kind of had to learn like we have to talk because as soon as like one of us just say like well me but if I were to hold in way too much we just snap like just like on nothing. It could be nothing like oh I stubbed my toe just say and then
Yeah.
boom you start like like just that stuff so you start freaking out.
And you're
That's
almost
why like
like aware of it before it even happens because you're already at that mood and that mind state. You're like, anything right now is going to trigger me, even if it's the smallest thing. And that's what
exactly you
happens,
know
right?
that in your and that's like that's the thing like when you're like too like kind of deep into it and you're like oh I like no if this happens like oh I'm gonna do this right but that's just because like you're holding way too much into yourself and that you gotta let it out.
Like when you're feeling negative and you're having a bad day, are you aware of your thoughts as they're coming in negative? Like I notice sometimes like I'm not aware, I'm just thinking negative, and the other times I'm like, I'm being negative right now, you
Yeah,
know?
like I don't know. It's kind of like if you like sometimes like yes and no. Um like so it depends like on like what type of negative thoughts am I having. If it's like thoughts with anger, or it could be like if it was thoughts with anger, I know it's coming, and I know like okay yeah I know I'm thinking really badly right now, and I gotta relax. So I'm gonna go chill outside. I'm gonna go walk. I'm gonna go walk the dog, play hockey, whatever. When it's other stuff like mental like health like with like maybe depression or something,
Hmm.
I kind of just I'll think negative and just think negative, just be like, oh, like after I'm just positive. Say the next day, I'm like, why was I even thinking like that? Like
Yeah,
it was maybe a crappy day, something bad happened, but yeah,
it happens, right? It's just like if it's a bad day and you just can't get out of it, it's just like the acceptance of today's a bad day and like I hope tomorrow is better, right?
yeah,
Um, I never understand when I'm feeling sad, but nothing in my life should make me feel sad. I never understand that. It's like, why am I feeling this way if everything's good, you know?
yeah,
But like, I guess that's just part of life and like the way our brains work. And, you know, I just think like you said, as long as we're open about this kind of stuff and talk about it, then like more people are going to be more accepting of it because these are things that all of us face every day. And I was mentioning this in a live a couple of weeks ago. Is that like I don't know if you've ever experienced this, and you don't need to like say whether you have or not. But people wake up in the morning and it's hard for them to get out of bed because they're not feeling good, right? They wake
oh
up
yeah,
unhappy, and I've never had that, but I get it, and I try to understand that as much as possible. Like when you can't get up to go take a shower because you're unmotivated, you know,
oh
like
yeah,
I feel for those people. It's tough. but we got to use each other as like, support.
Oh yeah, 100%. And like with when you said like when you could be having a good day and you start having bad thoughts and that's what stays there for like and then you're like, why am I thinking like this? And that's why I love like when I hear money doesn't buy happiness, because even people that like we don't even know about that are on top of the world, that they think they're on top of the world, but people just see their wealth and stuff, but they don't actually know what they've gone through to get there or still are going through, because everyone goes through it no matter what. It just doesn't go away when you start getting like my brother. He had it pretty, like, I'm not gonna lie, like before TikTok, like he he didn't have it very good. Like he didn't really like care about any, but he's always been a loving guy. But and then even when this stuff happens, it doesn't go away. Like he still has anxiety, a lot of stuff's going on. And that's what made me realize, like, okay, that was like the perfect example, my brother right there. And that's what made me just think that every time I'm having a bad thought, I think everyone has it. No one doesn't have it.
Yeah, and honestly, like I hopped on this live today after being so inspired by your brother's courage to come out on a live today and just express that he's not doing okay, And you're right. That gives a perfect example of it doesn't matter what's going on in your life. It doesn't matter, your wealth. It doesn't matter your situational stuff. Sometimes it's just part of life that
Yeah,
these things happen to every single human being.
yeah. And
Um,
so my brother went live and he just said he wasn't doing too well.
yeah,
Okay, that's good, because like I see him, like, even when like we're about to go live before, like he always like, because my brother, he always like, he overthinks a lot of stuff. I'll tell you that. Like when he sees recently when he sees his fans fighting, that's what sets him off the most lately. Like that's the most like that he's been worrying about, because he doesn't want people
I
fighting.
think
Because
like yeah, I think what
yeah,
it comes down to as well is just like everyone wants like positivity. No one
yeah,
wants drama. No one wants conflict, even between two people. Like we all come to TikTok at least to like relax and to laugh and to smile or even just to talk. So the last thing we want is more stress. And like I think being vulnerable and being open is so important.
yeah,
It's one of those things that like it would help if more people were able to do that and just talk about it.
yeah. No, I know. And my brother, I just remembered actually, because I got off the phone with him not too long ago. He just called me checking up on me because my mom told him like what was
Yeah.
going on. But like he told me what was up and what was going on. I didn't know he went live today, but he told me what was getting to him today, and I was like, man, like, yeah. And then we just talked for a while. I was like, yo, you just, it's good. You just gotta relax though. It's family. It's blah blah blah. It will be over. We all love each other, but when one person's having a bad day in our family, and most families too, like a lot of people, not even families, friends, blah blah blah, they don't realize it, but they try to bring other people down with them that day, because they don't really realize that they're going through the worst day. So they're like, hey, whatever, I don't really care. I'll bring this person with me, but they don't even need to, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Yeah. It's important to not be dragged down when you're already not feeling great. Um, like even like I was actually gonna I find it kind of fate, but I was gonna end the live like 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And someone just dropped like a really nasty comment about me. And that kind of got me more talking about mental health and negativity and then here I am talking to you and it's awesome, man.
No, I know.
But I think no matter where you are in life, no matter what you have going on in your life, there's always going to be like negativity and yeah, like I'm a big believer in fate and I think like when we go through these periods where we feel down, um one day we're going to look back on this and realize that we had strength and it actually taught us something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if you look back at how you were 5 years ago, would you say you're a different person?
Oh yeah, of course.
For sure, right? Like that's just kind of like part of aging. But
Yeah,
um yeah, I think like what's important to remember is we're all human beings and we all go through stress, right?
yeah.
So it's
No,
really how
it's
we
true.
deal with it.
But yeah. Well, it was great talking to you, man. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
man, it was nice to chat with you too. I got a lot of respect for you.
I'm gonna go to bed. I need some rest. But
Yeah, rest up, man.
definitely I'll text you. You text me. Let's go live again for sure, eh? Soon.
Yeah, keep in touch, man. Keep in touch, man. You got an awesome family. You're a great dude. And don't forget, man, you can always come to me whenever you need to talk about anything. I'm happy to just to talk. So,
Thank you, man. But yeah,
all right, take care,
have a
man.
good night, bro. All you guys
All
have a
right,
good night.
peace.
It was nice talking to you.
See you, Alex.